Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and him. Talk about the Bills, dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another Bam and Bam, another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth, No Sodium Takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
40 Keys.
All right, we are back with another episode, and look, Schmitty couldn't dig himself out today, so
sorry, boo.
Yeah. Well, now he's gonna be on the show. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get him on as soon as he's all set up. He's getting the stuff set up now to hop on with us, and we'll be able to you know have him just kind of doing all the same stuff, but also being a part of the show at the same time. The other thing is we are efforting now to get our call line set up since he wasn't here to kind of get that set up before the show started. We're gonna try to get that going just for you, Vu, as the show goes on. So, without further ado, bro, you okay?
Mm-hmm. What?
I'm just because last episode it was rocky. It was
not
like,
the last one. I was two episodes ago.
That
last
two
one I was
episodes
good.
ago?
Yeah, last one I was good.
Okay, last one you was good.
I came
all right.
back 2 episodes a week ago. Yeah, it was a different story.
All right, so let's start with this. It is officially draft season for the Buffalo Bills. It is officially draft season for the Buffalo Bills.
Now, not yet.
Well, it's officially draft season for everybody not in the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, everybody has a coach and an OC and a DC.
Well, we got scouts. That's good enough. If we needed to turn the card in, we could turn it in tomorrow.
We could turn the card in.
We could turn the card But I wanted to ask you about this because this came up, and Daniel Jeremiah put out his first mock draft, and I know how much you love mock drafts. Let's do something real quick. Let me see here. Bow. I needed to do that, and bow. I needed to do that. Daniel Jeremiah has the Buffalo Bills selecting CJ Allen at pick 26 in the first round.
The linebacker. With Alabama?
Let me see.
CJ Allen. Because I do like CJ Allen. He's my kind of linebacker, though.
Really?
He's a thumper. He's my kind of linebacker. So
Georgia,
yes. Yep. I was watching the Alabama-Georgia game. Well, yeah, I do like him. He's not a great cover guy.
Okay.
But going forward, against the run, shedding blocks, he's everything I want in a linebacker. Yeah, he's everything I want in a linebacker. And it would signify a change from the defense that we used to run. So, people that, I'm going to say this ad nauseum until the draft comes, I'm a defensive guy, and I love defense. And a good defense, exciting defense, a tenacious, aggressive, a real aggressive defense really shifts my gears. So, when you're talking about a defensive shift where your guys are trying to get after the ball, trying to go attack people, not try to lay them down gently, not try to be nice to guys, be friends. Yes, sign me up for that. I'll have a healthy helping of what they have to offer. I think he's about 6'2", 240 or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it would signify a great shift towards the defense that I want to run.
Let's say what's up to the people first before we get going here. Billy D, what up? Tommy from Mafia Sports Report, what's going on, man? Nico, what's going on? DJ 37, what up, man? Let's see. More Tommy, more DJ, more Nico, more Billy D, more Billy.
What up, Nady?
John O'Malley. John O'Malley, my bad.
John O'Malley, got Nady in there.
Yep, got
Laura.
Roy in here. Laura's in the building.
IRU.
Yep, Albert's in the building. Coolest cat in the fridge. In the fridge.
Yeah, coolest cat in the fridge.
Asian, bro?
No.
My bad. All right, I quit. No, that's Rich. What's up, though?
Roy.
And Tori's in here. Okay, all right. We got a lot of folks
and
start to show up.
We got Alton V in there.
Wow, I ain't seen you here live in a minute. We here, yeah. Been a minute.
Yeah, Sweat was good with it.
Okay, what's good? What's good?
Everybody grab a Coke 45, or in my case on Saturday, a Cutwater.
Does just off of our CJ Allen conversation really quick, is there any part of Dorian Williams' game that comes close to CJ Allen, or is it just two different stratospheres?
I think Dorian was a better athlete.
Okay.
He might be a better blitzer. I got to see what Allen's 40 time is, what his cone time is, but I think Dorian is the better attacker. I think Allen's claim to fame is to be nasty at the point, holding the offensive line honest and making it tough for teams to run against us.
Dan's computer is blitzing him right now.
Oh boy,
I know we working it out.
Oh, DJ 37 already got it. He slammed that thumbs up already.
Oh yeah,
slammed it already.
I need everybody to do that. Like, can we get like 38 likes in here right now? That would be so dope if we can get 38 likes in here right now, just to start the show off fresh.
I'll sing I'm a little teapot like Irv Weinstein.
Just do it. Matter of fact, do the likes so that we don't have to hear that. Okay, please.
Y'all
if you don't give us 37 likes right now,
I'm a little
he's
teapot
going to
coming.
Sing. He's a little teapot, short and stout. Please help me avoid this. The last thing I need in my life. All right. Let's heat it up a little bit, right? So we know the Bills are in the mode of finding the next coach. Right. Mm-hmm. And we do know that the three defensive needs are linebacker, safety. I'm not so big on safety because I like Hancock. I think, if you give him another year in a system that's a little more simpler, and I'll explain that in a second, I think he could flourish for sure as that, roaming free safety style guy. And then, of course, pass rusher. The ever evasive pass rusher that the Bills have been trying to find since what? Jerry Hughes ever. Left
since they stumbled upon Malcolm Floyd Leonard Floyd, and then that was it. Joey
Von Miller for 6 games.
Von Miller, and that's the thing too. People talk about Von Miller, and as much as I didn't want him, Von Miller did not suck. They're trying to now write that narrative that he was terrible in Buffalo. It was a bad signing monetarily, but Von Miller in 8 games, 8.5 sacks, comes back, and if you remember. What were they celebrating his last game as a Buffalo Bill? Or last regular season game, getting 5 sacks. He got 5 sacks in a matter of what? 33% snaps that year, and he still did it. So Joey Bosa had what last year? 5. Greg Rousseau had 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that. It can't be that hard. It can't be that hard. It just can't be. But I digress. Yes, I think. I looked at defensive coordinators, and the reason why I looked at the defensive coordinators, no bones don't want to hear that. I'm a little teapot, but you're going to get it. I have a feeling it's going to come. But I think I just wanted to ask you this because thinking about it, with McDaniel backing out, thank God Phillip Rivers backed out because that was just ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah.
Who just said that? Iroh said. Anybody else glad Rivers withdrew?
Oh, I didn't. Yeah,
why you got to put a Mac in front of it, bro? Mac Udinsky for president? What?
I don't know.
What are we doing? I'm sorry. Please
creative
continue.
License.
Yeah, please continue.
And I'm sitting here thinking we're waiting because I think somebody even asked in the beginning that we're waiting for, I guess, Kubiak. We're waiting to interview Kubiak. They're playing a dangerous game, aren't they?
I said this. Well, let me ask you this. Like, what are your initial thoughts before I react to that?
On which component? Which
just waiting for?
I wouldn't do it because this is my thing. You don't know anything about Kubiak. You don't know if he's a personality fit with Bean. You don't know if he wants to be in Buffalo. You don't know what it would take because you got to remember, everybody on the outside, the fans, us, podcasters say, "Well, why wouldn't you want to coach Josh? Why wouldn't you want to do that?" But even with coming with a coach Josh premise, there's a lot of pressure there because if Josh falls off a cliff this year, they're not going to blame Josh.
Right? They're
going to blame you. With the free agents that are talking. I mean, you saw what Daquan Jones he tweeted out. Somebody.
Oh, you didn't say? Yeah. He said something. What did he say?
Yeah, he said Vrabel is at MF. And literally, he said MF. He didn't say the actual word.
Right,
but
right.
Because I'm not that much of a square.
I can't even say a cuss word,
I can't even say the letters. No. And then somebody said, wow, if you had one stop, maybe you'd be there instead of them. And he said, go cry.
Go cry, right.
And then somebody else said, all right, don't you play for the Buffalo? He's like, I'm a free agent.
Right. They didn't give me an extension. So
what you want me to say? They didn't want to extend me, or I didn't want to be there. Who knows?
Yeah.
It could be McDermott factor. It could be Babbage factor. It could be Al Holcomb if we ever find out what he actually really did. And for the guys out there, you're talking about Daboll. What does Daboll bring to the table? Familiarity. A familiarity that would ruffle feathers on the front office side, more than likely, if you give him that kind of power, which I don't have a problem with. You have Brady, which I'm like, why? I don't even want to hear his name spoken as a head coach candidate. That's furthest from what I want to hear. Who else we have? We have Udinski, or Mac Udinski, as cool as Cat says.
Udinski.
I actually am starting to think about him. But that's all. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because of what you asked, or what I asked, and you fire back at me with, is we're waiting for Kubiak, but you're going to start losing coordinators. You're going to start ponying up with other guys. And if you get a guy like Udinski, you get a guy like, I don't know Davis Webb, but even Kubiak, we're going to run into what we saw with Rick Dennison when McDermott came on. That's all that was left. So like, okay, let's ride. But Udinski's never caught an offense. And Kubiak has, Davis Webb has not. These guys haven't even, Kubiak hasn't even, not Kubiak, Davis Webb hasn't even been an offensive coordinator.
Right.
So you have to have a strong presence in that room. Even though you're an offensive-minded guy, I need somebody to run checks and balances with if you got a guy that's never called plays, which would be even Udinski. What I like about him is that he actually has been in a system that turned an offense that was kind of into something that was fun to watch. You got just as fast, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe it's true, but I mean, Trevor Lawrence is an MVP finalist. Yeah, he was an MVP. Really? Trevor Lawrence was an MVP finalist.
Wow.
And what Udinski is good at, and I did my reading because when we talked about it last time, I didn't know a lot about him, but I said, let me find out what this dude's about. And before I get into that, what a lot of these guys, Davis Webb and people like that, are they're quarterback developers. That's not a selling point to me.
Yeah.
I don't care about that unless you're going to draft.
Josh is 30.
Right, he's 30. He's got 5 to 6 more years before you really start thinking about the replacement.
Yep.
So that's not going to do it for me. I need somebody that's innovative in offense. And Udinski was the right hand man to Liam Cohen when it came to offensive gameplay. He designed the game plans. He executed the game plans in practice, which means he has a knowledge of calling something at some point with the men. So that's a plus to me. But for me, when it comes to a guy like him, who they say is an innovative play caller or innovative mind, which is youthful and this, that, and third, cool. But can he hold up? Can he hold up, against a Brandon Beane? Are they going to give him the latitude to make his own decisions because he is 30 years old?
Right.
Who's your defensive coordinator? I mean, there's a long list that you can go get. Some other guys like I saw Denard Wilson, Chris Hewitt, Brandon Staley, Chris Richard, Mike Caldwell. I even thought about Al Harris. Al Harris, if you guys don't know, Al Harris was I can't remember where he was before, but they were leading in pass defense. They were one of the most favorite pass defenses in the league. Then last year he went to Chicago when they were now from one of the worst to one of the best, one of the elite ones. He has never called defense, but if you look at his career, you look at what he's done interception wise, tenaciousness, aggressiveness. He's been in multiple defensive fronts, so he knows how defenses look. And if you have a guy like Nielsen or Al Holcomb stays or whatever that works with the defensive line, they can run in tandem. He can call the plays, but this guy gets the D line and the linebacker is ready to supplement his defensive back. We know our defensive backs are already one of our they are the strongest unit on our defense.
Yep.
We just need somebody that's going to be able to get some foremen in the front and run the majority of the game. We don't need this rotation. We don't need, this gimmick. Get foreman up front and run your defense.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree, bro. I mean, I think what's kind of troubling about, to me anyway, about waiting this long, or I'll keep it to you, Dinsky. I don't think you can, and to me, honestly, it doesn't really matter how smart you are. You still need time on task, right? So if we're going to take a shot at a first-time head coach, then in my mind, it's got to be Klint Kubiak, right? I respect Udinski. I get that he's brilliant. I get same thing for Davis Webb. I get that he's brilliant. I understand that, but you still need time on task, right? If you look at Klint Kubiak's path to where he is now, he was a wide receivers coach. Then he was an offensive assistant. Then he was a quarterbacks coach. Then he was an offensive coordinator in 2021 for the Vikings. Then he took a step back for the Denver Broncos in 2022. He's a passing game coordinator and quarterbacks coach, right? Stuff like that is important in my mind because you have to go through things in order to learn what works for you and what doesn't. And the fact that he took a step back in his career earlier shows me that he's dealt with adversity already and persevered through it and learned from his mistakes, right? So from that point on, where he takes a step back in 2022, 2023, he's the passing game coordinator for the 49ers. Baby steps. It's important, right? Then he becomes the offensive coordinator for the Saints in 2024, and now he's the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks right now. And the one thing that I'm noticing about his offense is it's starting to look a lot like Ben Johnson's offense did in his last season for the Lions, right? And here's what I mean. I don't mean conceptually. I don't mean any of that stuff. What I mean is it looks polished, right? It looks like a polished offense. And not only is he doing it at such a high clip with not a plethora of receivers. He's got Cooper Kupp at the end of his career. He's got Rashid Shaheed, he's just a deep threat. That's about all you're going to get out of him. And then he's got JSN, who's your classic Cooper Kupp style, do it everything underneath and just past the coverage or in between coverage type of receiver. He's not a burner, you know what I mean? But they've done an amazing job at getting him open in a lot of different ways. And you saw a lot of this same orchestration from Ben Johnson in Detroit with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, I think I want to say this now. I am with you with Kubiak, but I did this with the notion that I don't want to wait, and that would probably be my number one right now. I don't know. The only thing about Kubiak and what I've researched and learned about him is I don't know how much his offense really is tailored to Josh Allen, what he does best. Because Kubiak is more of the West Coast kind of rhythm guy, and his thing is protecting Josh, which would be good for us. Yeah. But how do you get Josh to protect himself? How are you going to buy in? So you got
what the easy answer for that is?
What's that?
Just put a bunch of receivers around him that can really ball.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the guys that's on the team now, but that's how you protect Josh from himself.
That's the thing that Kubiak would be good at. Everybody, if you look at everybody that's in the running, Kubiak, even Udinski and Daboll, they're all schemers. They all are good at scheming guys open. They're all good at progressions. I think one of the guys, it might have been Kubiak, who's actually a half field read kind of guy. I got to look it up, but I think it was him that was a half field read. He simplifies the reads and pretty much tells you who's going to be open, and this is your progression. And that's something that we need, and especially after what Josh went through last year. You want him to have somebody that makes it simple for him. Again, not saying that he can't do it, but the peace of mind that he would have in the back of his psyche that says, okay, I'm not going to get hit. I know who's supposed to be open. This is not a free for all. Sometimes that damage control is all you need to reset yourself.
Yeah. I think I am with you in terms of don't wait, because at the end of the day, you need offensive. You need offensive and defensive assistance right now. The only thing with a guy like Klint Kubiak is he is your offensive system, so you don't really need to worry about an offensive coordinator, but you still want to make sure you have time to find a good DC. Now, here's the thing with that. I think if I'm Klint Kubiak and I'm being brought in as the next coming of, this new wave of, offensive minds, right? I think it would be, how can I say this without being disrespectful? I think it might be a little bit easier for me to find a defensive coordinator that's willing to come in here and be the next up and coming defensive mind as well, as opposed to a guy like Brian Daboll, who may want to go with a more tenured defensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? And I get, like, Raheem Morris is still out there. We haven't really heard anything about him. Anthony Weaver is still out there. We haven't heard about him taking any jobs or anything like that. But both of those guys are 3-4 guys. You know what I'm saying? If we're looking at all of the players that the Bills are losing on defense alone, I mean, they still have a skeleton crew of enough guys that can start in a 4-3. So you would really have to do some work to figure out what you want to do in terms of, scheme and fitting those guys in and stuff like that. But I guess my point in saying all that is, the one guy that I would want to take the job as DC is not available right now. And the Browns are doing everything that they can to find a head coach that's willing to keep Jim Schwartz on as their defensive coordinator, because they just don't want to lose him. And what's crazy about that is, you got the guy in your building, just hire him as head coach.
We love you.
Right. We don't want you to actually be a head coach, but we want you to stay and coach the defense. Right?
Maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe he doesn't want to be a head coach. I mean, in Cleveland, that'd be tough. And I had a point there, but I forget.
Sorry, take your time.
What did you say? You said something about. Oh, yeah. What I would do if I was Raheem Morris, you said it was Weaver as a 3-4 guy as well.
Yes.
And I didn't do the research on this, but what I would first do is say, okay, what do we have? What do we have on the books? Who's off the books next year? Who's off the books in 2 years? Because I can run a 40 front. I can make this work with these guys for now, while still implementing some of the stuff that I would do in my 3-4. And that's the thing about the beauty of getting away from 3-4 versus 4-3, the thought process and going with the fronts. And that became a thing, a couple years ago, maybe a decade ago, where people stopped really saying 3-4 and 4-6 and all this stuff. They start calling the fronts out, because all that is you bring, in our case, you'll bring, I don't know, you have a 4-3, you have Dwayne Wales up on the line. Now you got a 50 front, and it's an odd front, whatever the case may be. You could drop Greg Rousseau back a little bit. Yeah. Now and he still rushes, but he's rushing from a linebacker depth. And, so, I mean, I really think they could make it work with those guys if they're as good as we say. I mean, we saw what they did in Atlanta with just 2 pass rushers for the most part. Yeah, Tim Settle was good. Was it Rankins? Whoever the other guy was good. But why were they so good? They were so good because the outside guys are so dominant. In Jacksonville, why were they so good? Because the outside guys are dominant. And so I think if you bring a guy like Raheem Morris in, if you Weaver, I don't know enough about. I know their defense. He was in Miami, right?
Weaver?
Yeah, Weaver was Miami. Okay, yeah. You look at everybody they had versus everybody they lost over the last 2 years via injury or just they couldn't afford them. That was a hamper, So I think if I was one of those guys and they said, Daboll calls me, hey, man, I'm about to take this Buffalo job. What you think? Okay, who can I get rid of in a year or two? What's the status on, say, Terrell Bernard? When can we move him? Because I can't use him. When can we move? Are we bringing Milano back? I can't use him. That kind of stuff is the kind of conversation I'd have with the head coach going forward. But if I'm Daboll, he's got what, 2 OC jobs on the docket he's waiting on, I think it is?
No, just the Titans. If he doesn't get this job, he's taking the Titans job.
Okay. Well, he better, because if the Titans say, you know what, we're not waiting anymore. We're not. What is it? Us or them? And we're waiting on Kubiak. That's a catch-22. And Mike McDaniel, I know everybody hated him and didn't want him, which is cool because now he took the Chargers job officially, finally, and he's not riding on carousels with his Versace out nightgown on anymore. You see that picture?
No.
He was on a carousel with he had, what was it, Gucci pajamas on.
What?
Yeah. He's like that.
Okay. Very, very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Very weird. We got Schmitty on. Schmitty,
can you hear me?
you ready,
Can
bro?
you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Do you hear an echo?
No, you're
I
good.
do not hear an echo.
Yeah, you're good.
Do you?
I think I just have to turn off my mic. I'll echo in my own ears. That's all right.
Okay.
If you guys hear an echo, let us know in the comment, please.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that to you, please. Just let us know. Don't be polite.
Nope, let's leave it like that. All right. Let me play around with the background here. Bam. All right, we're gonna have to leave it like that because of the camera situation we got going on here in the studio. So, all right.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Echo.
Echo on our end. Oh man. Okay, hold on a second because I did have to turn that off so that you guys can hear the phone conversations. All right. How about now? Is that better?
Smitty coming live from Grand Canyon.
What?
Somebody said Smitty coming live from Grand Canyon. Can you guys hear Smitty though?
Oh, just Schmitty when he talks.
Okay. Can you hear Smitty?
So I am echoing.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't be anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to turn the echo cancellation on.
All right.
What about
so that you wouldn't echo?
You guys got Smitty though?
Yeah.
Okay.
They can hear me?
Yeah, Laura was saying it was just Schmitty when he talks. So
that's how he talks. He double talks. He has a double voice thing going on.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing about his vocal cords. He was born like that. So
Nate, shut up.
what he say? Of course not. Of course not. You know what? That's what happens when you're constantly renovating and trying to grow this thing, man. You run into situations and you figure them out. But let's get back to it. So Schmitty, we've been talking about the conundrum of, do you wait for the right guy? Do you try to just select from the options that you have available? What in your mind is the better approach here for the Buffalo Bills? Because there's pros and cons to both sides. But I think the name of the game is just trying to be as prepared as you can possibly be going into, the thick of the offseason.
Yeah. I mean, I'm no expert. That's why I don't work for the Bills. But in my opinion, I think you wait, especially with what you saw in the game yesterday. You want to at least interview that guy one time. I mean, that was a clinic.
So here's where I kind of like the idea of waiting, right? Everybody by now. And actually, before I say what I'm about to say, we got 84 folks in here. Hopefully, we have 84 likes. I would greatly appreciate it if you could just take 2 seconds out of your time right now of checking us out to go. Please do not make this man sing. Please help us avoid this.
It's coming. I feel it.
Just go ahead and give us a thumbs up. That helps us immensely.
I can feel it coming in the air.
You can stop this. You can stop this. Please, I'm begging you. Oh God.
Chico said, "Sing, dare you?" I mean, that's a little snippet.
Okay. I gotta stop myself from crying.
Hey, I'm comic relief over here.
Let me click. Thank you, Laura. Thank you. See, you saving one life at a time over here on Post Podium Podcast.
I'm just going to do it anyway.
There's nothing you can do about it. Okay, so those of you that have heard me say this before, this is nothing new. But the Bengals have made it to a Super Bowl without a top tier defense. The Chiefs have made it to a Super Bowl without a top tier defense. The Patriots are the first team in a while out of the AFC East to make it to a Super Bowl since the last time they made it to a Super Bowl with a top 10 defense. Like realistically, that's the Patriots were the last team to do it. So I want to be careful when I'm worried about assistants, because if you go and get a Clint Kubiak, insert name at defensive coordinator that is not just a friggin' soda can sitting there not knowing what plays to call and calling timeouts and stuff like that. Like, as long as we don't have that kind of defensive coordinator, if he's got some kind of competence, we should be okay.
Yeah, I will say, if Udinski is the guy that you're leaning towards out of the current group of guys, you should be good, because only people that interviewed him so far were us in Cleveland. He backed out of the Cleveland job, so it's down to us, and I'm guessing going back to Jacksonville. So yeah, I mean, Jimmy, yes, Casey Concepcion. You heard that name a couple of times. That's all I'll say. You heard that name a couple of times. But yeah, I think if you're okay with Udinski, if you're Brandon Beane and Terry Bagula, sure, we'll wait. But if you really want Daboll, because at some point Tennessee's going to say, all right, time's ticking.
Yeah, we can just hire Grant Udinski for all this.
Right. Time's ticking, man.
Yeah.
And that's when it's really gonna be down to the nitty gritty for the Bills. So yeah, I think they have to do their due diligence, and they got to figure out any way possible, legally or illegally. I didn't say that. Is Kubiak even remotely interested in a Buffalo job? Everybody on the radio, Steve and Chris, and who wouldn't want to be the Bills? We've laid out why you would. We've also laid out why you might not want to. So it's not as open and shut as you got Josh Allen. Coach him. When you're a coach, that doesn't really work. It's a lot of other stuff that goes into it.
I got a question.
What you got?
Do you think, with the report that Philip Rivers backed out of the coaching job, that was to save face because he didn't have a chance and he tried to look better doing that? Or do you think there was something that really turned him off?
No, I don't. I don't think there was any damage control, because it was kind of goofy anyway to interview him, and for him to have an interview period, that's a solid. It was all stupid, because basically what it was practice. They wasted time practicing it was for goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Philip Rivers backing out, I think he realized I don't really have a shot at it, or maybe he thought he did have a shot and didn't really want the job. That's the thing too. Did he have a plausible chance of getting this? And he's like, I didn't want that job. I just wanted the interview for it.
Yeah.
And went home. So I got 10 kids. They're gonna need time. I gotta spend time with these kids. I gotta spend time with the wife because she's got the kids. I do not want to invest this kind of time into an NFL, because maybe he didn't know what it took really to be an NFL coach. And when they laid it out, he's like, nah, bro.
So I made a poll.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Asking if they want to hear Keith sing, and it is almost 50-50. It's 48-52 right now.
Oh my God, no! Who's saying yes? Who is saying yes?
There's half the people, and there's 23 people that voted so far.
You are all trying to punish me. Like, this is not a treat for you. This is punishment for me. No disrespect to you.
I might even auto-tune it.
T-paint it out. I'm going to buy you a drink.
No Bones has been on a mission to get everyone to vote yes.
Listen,
I was wondering what vote yes meant. I saw it. I was like, what does that mean?
Here he is, right here.
That's what I saw. I was like,
damn it. I was right. Exactly. Look, I want to tap on this comment right here, because this brings up a very good conversation. Roy says Bean says they're looking for a CEO type head coach that would make the OC and DC important hires.
You would think.
Well, it would have to.
Well, even you can backdoor your way into an offense though, because if you get a Daboll, he's a CEO. Why is still his offense?
Yeah. No, that's a good point. This worries me though, because I haven't heard that yet. Maybe it happened after I left work today. Hearing that Bean saying he wants a CEO type of head
in the
coach.
press conference.
When was that?
The one that after McDermott firing, he said that in the press conference.
Oh, I must have missed it.
Yeah, he said it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very worried about that. Like hearing that back now, like I'm scared. No, I'm serious. And this is where I think the conversation comes in, is if if you're talking about bringing in a CEO style head coach, you're basically asking for the same thing you just had. Because essentially, I mean, Sean McDermott, whether we wanted him to be or not, stepped in and became a CEO style head coach. The only thing that he contributed to the defense was, you're going to use my scheme, which we're now finding out from Jim Onis and Tyler Dunn that it is one of the more complex defensive systems in the league right now in terms of being able to, learn it and pick it up and all. Like, it's not easy to pick up at all. Right. And then you have a defense like the Texans defense and DeMeco Ryans system. That's a lot easier. You just basically, you just ball out. You just kick ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing what you do. And what's worrisome about that though, is all of the guys that are left are not CEO style head coaches. They're not your John Harbaugh. They're not your Mike McCarthy. They're not these guys that are better served being CEOs as opposed to being coordinators. Like, in my mind, when I think CEO style head coach, I think a guy that can lead men, but really shouldn't be dependent on to call plays.
Yeah, I think that's the way I look at CEO style. I think is a guy that can run a team, can be the voice of the team, can be the face of the team, while hiring, like Roy said, a very, very strong OC in DC. The CEO has to allow his junior vice presidents or whatever to run their ships the way they see fit. And that's the thing that McDermott seemingly couldn't do. So I think the CEO type is like that hands-off the play calling deal, but more so overseer and okay, so what's the report here? What are we doing here? Okay, I like that. Okay, could you change that a little bit? But I see a vision. Not meddling to the point where they make all the decisions. I'm gonna snatch the play call responsibilities from you, and that's where a guy like a Udinski would make sense, and that's where I was going with that, because he never called plays, but in what they're looking for, you don't have to. They don't want their guy to call plays.
Yeah, but I mean that's an even bigger problem if you're just hiring a 30-year-old guy to come in and be a CEO type guy. Like, I get how smart he is and all that kind of stuff, but you want to use that intelligence for your benefit. And the biggest return on investment is to have a mind like that calling plays. Like, part of the reason that we're watching Seattle doing what they're doing now is because the GM in Seattle saw the potential of, man, there's this defensive mind out here that is destroying the league right now. We have some really good pieces on defense. That's probably the foundation of our team right now because we don't have a quarterback.
Right.
Let's go get that guy. Let's let him hire a great offensive mind, and then we'll try to develop a quarterback. And at the very least, we'll have a defense that we can use to plug and play a journeyman quarterback that'll give us a shot at a Super Bowl. We've seen it happen before with the Ravens, right? So that's a smart approach. But guess what? It worked out even better than the GM could have possibly imagined, because not only in year one of this guy did you end up with the best defense in the NFL, or the third best defense in the NFL, but on top of that, you had an offensive mind as your offensive coordinator that was able to get enough play out of Sam Darnold yet again to be able to get you to a Super Bowl. This is all year one of what we're seeing in Seattle, right? Now, here comes the issue with hiring a CEO style head coach. What's going to happen to Clint Kubiak? Somebody's going to hire that dude. If it's not us, it's going to be somebody else, unless he turns them down. You know what I'm saying? But somebody is going to be looking to hire that dude. What's Mike Macdonald going to do then? He's going to have to find another guy, right? The same exact thing would happen here with a CEO style head coach. How have we not learned that lesson by now? Right? You're so busy in the front office of the Buffalo Bills trying to put together this hierarchy of business that you want to have in place because that's just what good business does. What about if it's good for football or not? What about if that's what's best for the team? Right? Have you talked to Josh about this? Does he want a guy that he's going to have as head coach where he's going to have to constantly worry about OCs coming in and out the door all day long? Because that's what you're going to have with a CEO style head coach. I'm kind of upset that I didn't catch on to this right away, but I'm hearing it now. Like that bothers me mightily, because all of the guys that are left are thought of, if you hire this guy, you're going to get this defense. If you hire this guy, you're going to get this offense. Like, all these guys are coming with the X's and O's.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you trying to go against the grain?
Well, hiring Rivers is going against the grain. Interviewing Rivers. I just want to say before we go any further, Browse 03. Me and my wife love watching your show. We look forward to every week because of my hit that make it ring-a-ling-a-ling. Hey, you got it. You got it. We appreciate you. We appreciate you and the wife. You know, that's a great thing.
Yeah. Oh, we got a super chat.
Oh,
where is it?
Just click on it. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
we did. Okay, it just came in.
All right, Joshua Richardson 5859. What's going on, man? It says, what up, fellas? I think the Bills should hire Grant Udinski as head coach, hire Daboll as OC, and hire Jim Schwartz as DC. Jim can be the assistant head coach and be the man on the defensive side. One of the things that really took the air out of my sails today was hearing
the CEO
that the Browns, that too, but it was hearing that the Browns are doing their very best to keep Jim Schwartz in as DC, and that's probably why a lot of head coaches are walking away from that job, because you're essentially telling, a head coach, like, look, you can come in here and coach the team, but one of your hands is going to be tied behind your back with a guy that you may not know or trust or have worked with before, but he's going to be in the room with you, and you got to deal with it. Like,
that's crazy. That's nuts.
Most coaches don't want to do that.
I know, but it's Jim Schwartz. I'd be like, you know what?
Why don't they just make him a head coach at that point? If they want him in the building so bad.
Yeah.
But the thing is, do we know if he wants to be a head coach? That's the thing. Do we know if for sure that he wants to?
That's true. I mean, when was the last time he was head coach? Lions?
Yeah. I think he stood in somewhere. Maybe was he
an interim?
Did somebody? Yeah, was he an interim anywhere?
Was he an interim? No, he was never an interim here.
No, not here. I'll look that up, because I feel like he was somewhere, but I don't. Okay, now we're working. I could be wrong, because this is not my wheelhouse. It just feels like it might have happened. But yeah, I think. See, two things. What you said before even looking for Udinski as a head coach, hiring Daboll. Would Daboll suck it up and be an OC under a first-time head coach of the job where he went for? That'd be tough. If he's that kind of guy. I'm not saying he's a head case or he's a butthole or anything like that. But if I was the front runner at one point for this job, and then they decide, you know what, we don't want you for that job, just come back under the guy we're gonna hire over you, I'd be like, nah, I'm thinking I'm going over to Tennessee just because, on GP, it's just kind of slap in the face to say, come along with us at a lesser role than you wanted. We know, and it was publicly stated you wanted to be all right. We're the job you wanted. We're not giving that to you, but you can come back. I don't know if he'd be amicable to that.
I'm kind of having this thought, and I want to flesh it out really quick. Free agents, coaches, really quick. I just want to pull this up here. Huh?
I was just gonna say real quick. I don't think you guys caught this, but back when you were talking about Keys singing with T-Pain auto-tune, Videsh made this comment that he will now be known as Key-Pain.
I'm Key-Pain.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Good job, Videsh. Good job. Okay. All right. So I just had this idea as we were going through. I was looking at Kev's comment here. It says you hire Daboll, you get JA-17 with 5,000 yards in his sleep and no 43 sacks. Now, this is interesting, and you guys tell me what you think. Brian Daboll had kind of a bad stint in New York, right? Mm-hmm. And the Bills are still connected to Joe Shane. I mean, he's from the big baller bean tree of GMs.
Yeah, somehow GM trees and stuff.
Yeah, this GM tree that we knew nothing about until they said something in this press conference. Like, oh, I guess I have heard that name before, but not in the Ozzie Newsome, tier of GMs. But all right,
trees of these branches.
Sure. But let's say they did hire Daboll, right? What other coaches that are available right now could step in as a CEO style head coach and still and yet find a guy to run their offensive system that they could trust other than Daboll. Because if I'm thinking about it this way, if Daboll steps in and he's the CEO style head coach, but he has Davis Webb come in and run his system, or they tweak a system or something like that, where it's a mesh of what, of Daboll's concepts, and Davis Webb adds some of his stuff. I could see something like that working a lot. And maybe you would want Brian Daboll's expertise in those higher leverage situations, but Davis Webb is fresh off of a, AFC Championship game appearance. You know what I'm saying? Working under Sean Payton. So I think there might be some smoke to that fire more than most. But here's the part that worries me about that now, because when you say CEO style head coach, you're also talking about a great leader of men. What style of coaches, or what philosophy of coaches usually gets those leader of men jobs? It's the defensive guys. It's your Anthony Weavers. It's your Raheem Morrises. Those are the guys that are always going to present better in these meetings, because they aren't the problem solvers. They're the disciplined guys. They're the hard-nosed, punch them in the face, do it the hard way every day type of guys, right? That's what an owner likes to hear. I talked about this a few weeks ago. Like, that's a problem if your owner still gets a hard on hearing about that kind of stuff. If he has not graduated to the level of understanding the value of a Mike McDonald, or the value of a Liam Cohen, or the value of a Ben Johnson. I mean, we've seen like several first-year coaches come in the league this year and all end up in the playoffs. That should tell you something.
Yeah. And no, Jim Schwartz never was interim. I thought he was, but he wasn't. To your point there, did you hear Steve Tasker on I don't know why I keep putting these on. Why do I keep putting these on? One Bills Live, One Bills Live. He said, yeah, whatever. I forget how it started, but Tasker goes on this little mini rant about how Terry Pegula is more qualified to make a coaching decision than anyone he knows. He said, yeah, he knows football better than you would think. He's more qualified. I'm like, dude, you got the brownest nose. Your nose is browner than mine. I mean, this is why we're in the situation we're in, because of stuff like that. And you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here with this petition deal.
Okay.
People are up in arms about 60,000 people signing a petition.
I think it's over 75,000 now.
I hope it goes to 100. This is why. The biggest thing, and bro, can I sing the Reese T song? Ooh, I got to make one up first. Stay with me on that.
Oh God,
I got to make one up. That's gonna be a lot of improvisation. But
I tell you what, if we can get to 100 likes, I'll sing it with them.
Yes,
I'll sing it with them.
Right. But this is my thing, and Mafia Sports Report, he hit me on X earlier before the show. He said, "Keith, be nice." I'm like, Bean Island. That's what you want to. No, I'm not joining stupid Bean Island. I hope it sinks. How does a landmass sink? I hope that happens to Bean Island. But I think the petition is more so, in my mind, a lot of people saying, if you kept Bean, then why is McDermott going?
Stay with me now.
See, I'm staying now. See, I don't think that petition would have existed if Bean was going to. I think people are saying you got rid of part of the problem, but the bigger problem, well, one of the problems is still here. Mm-hmm. So if that's here, then why did you get rid of this one? So bring him back. I think that's what the petition was, but obviously it's a joke as well. Nobody takes it seriously. So if you get bent out of shape about a petition, I will sign it live here on the show and nothing's going to happen. Nothing. Yeah. So why do we get mad about such trivial things? That doesn't deserve 2 shows worth of Jeremy and Joe Collins and one of those live conversations. It's ridiculous. And yes, Mafia Sports Report. All right. Well, you know what? You just lost your ticket I was holding for you. Burn it. Burn that ticket. I'd rather go to Beaver Island.
Oh, yeah. I was about to pull that up, too.
I'd rather go to Beaver Island.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, for when it comes to Brandon Beane, he's in that position. And actually, Jim Monis is one of the ones that kind of confirmed my theory, coming from the standpoint of, you know, Brandon Beane gets the position that he does because the owner doesn't want to have to hire a GM and a coach. That's a lot. It's a lot to do at this time of season. Now, deciding to promote Brandon Beane into the position that he's in and keep the GM position, and then allow Brandon Beane to say, no, I'm keeping both jobs. I'm going to continue to do both jobs, all that kind of stuff. Like, as an owner, maybe you might be a little too hands off, you know, for my comfort as a fan of the team. But that does give us clarity into why Brandon Beane is still here, right? And if that's the case, then we know Brandon Beane is not still here because of merit. He's here because of fear of the unknown. The owner is fearful of what it would take to actually hire a GM or a president of football operations first, and then hire a coach after that, right? Now, with all that being said, though, I think the one thing that we have to do going forward is the one thing that we didn't do with Sean McDermott. We have to now pay close attention to what he does, and then every single time he gets it wrong, call that ish out. Because at the end of the day, that's the mistake that we made with Sean McDermott. After 13 seconds happened, we should have been on his anus every single time he messed up. Nope, get him out of here. That's twice now. 2 is too many, right? That's how we need to be with Brandon Beane going forward. And this can't be well, you're either going to believe in the team and let him do his job or not. No. We've already seen him do his job. We've seen what it looks like when he collaborates with a head coach that doesn't know what he's doing. He's not the kind of guy that's going to step up and stand up to the head coach. He's going to be the kind of guy to continue giving that head coach rope, allow him to hang himself, because he already knows how egotistical that head coach is, and he knows that egotistical head coach is eventually going to hang himself. And at that point, who's going to look the best? This guy right here with 2 thumbs.
Yeah, and I think to everybody saying that Jerry Gray and Brian Gaine are going to be assistant GMs or co-GMs, and Brandon Beane is going to be the pro person. What is it?
President of operations.
Yeah, football operations. That's not your thought isn't backwards, but that's backwards. Because what does Brandon Beane say? The next coach is going to report to me directly. Where's Terry Gray and Brian Gaine in a hire process? So they can't hire their own head coaches? If they're the GM, they can't hire that. They're the GM. You don't get a say. You just got to work with who this guy gives me again. Didn't Brandon Beane just go through that? I mean, he didn't get to hire his coach. You know, and funny as Kev, I'm seeing a lot of stuff. Kev, I don't know what it is about me and Kev. We don't align on everything, but I was just about to say Whaley.
Yeah. Because
if you think about Whaley, Sean McDermott and Whaley, they had something. If you look at the 1 year they had before he got fired, that was their most dynamic draft year with regards to all pros and Pro Bowls, right? If you look at the free agent signings, everybody thinks Brandon Beane signed Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. He did not. That was Doug Whaley. If you look at when they came versus when Brandon Beane came, they were here first. They were here 2 months before Brandon Beane was. So I think Sean McDermott would have done better with Doug Whaley as his GM, because Whaley's like, I don't really care. I don't want to talk on the mic. I don't want my face to be seen. I just want to get you some players.
Right.
I think that's something that would have made Sean McDermott happy, because I really do believe that Brandon Beane was like, I don't think that's right for you. And what people talk about with regards to Whaley is all the differences in how he drafted. He drafted 4-3, 3-4, 4. How many coaches did he have to draft for? How many coaches did Brandon Beane have to draft for? 1. Whaley's got a coach every 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a 4-3 dude here, but now I got a 3-4. But I got to keep this dude. But you said you can use him, so I got him for you.
Apparently, it was me that's been talking for the last minute and a half because I'm saying that I'm wrong and that Whaley was fired right after the draft, and everyone knows that was McDermott's draft in 2017.
Right.
That makes it even worse then, because then that makes it even worse then, because that means McDermott is better at drafting than Beane.
Yes, sir.
Damn.
And the extra point. And the extra point. And we don't know that was all Sean McDermott's draft. We don't know that because that was Doug Whaley did the scouting before McDermott got here. If you listen to any scout, they all tell you we scout 2 years, 3 years in advance. No, it didn't just happen because McDermott came in whenever he came. That's not how it works. So yeah, no, McDermott could have said, yeah, I want this kind of player, I want this, I want that. Get me him. Whoever did it, it was the best draft that we've had outside of Josh Allen.
Maybe stay calling out stuff that don't even need. We're not even talking about Smitty right now. It says, should we start a GoFundMe for Smitty to help him with this?
It would be Nate. It would be Nate.
I mean, at least he drywalling, he cleaning it up. Give him a break.
He lives in there.
Right. It's gonna be painted in like 2 days. Watch.
Right.
You just watch.
That's his guest garage. You don't even know. You don't even know, man.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, look, I don't want to spend the entire time on this, but this is a big deal. The fact that we're sitting here talking about a GM that he's essentially told us that he's going to try to go back to the old way that they were doing business with Sean McDermott here. He just wants to try it with a different head coach.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, Nate, go get Dorothy for me, please. Get Dorothy, please. Anyway,
what? Oh, T-Dog is in here. That's why.
Yo, he's
yeah, go get Dorothy.
Is he drunk or high?
Go
We both said we were happy with what they were doing with Steph Diggs and all that. We both said, but his dickhead don't want to listen.
You know what? Come back in the show after the Super Bowl is over and y'all lost by 30 points. I can't wait. I can't wait for the Super Bowl to happen. Every single time that I hear a bunch of talk from Patriots fans, friggin' Eli Manning is on his way to save the day. And now it's going to be Mike McDonald in that defense and Sam Darnold. Another Eli Manning-esque player going into the playoffs and like just putting on his inner Eli just right over his shoulders, just putting that Eli cape on.
That's
and
3.
Going to
That's 3.
What's 3?
You said Eli 3 times.
Yep, he's gonna put that Eli Manning
That's 4.
cape on, and he's gonna throw for 4 touchdowns in this
4
game.
Eli Manning
and destroy
touchdowns?
y'all. Yeah, 4 Eli Manning touchdowns, like the Mario Manningham joints.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Plaxico Burress style joints. The what was it? Tyree. What was his name? Tyree. What was his last name?
Oh yeah, what was his name? I don't remember.
Tyree something.
David Tyree.
David Tyree. That's what it was. David Tyree type of catches. All of that is gonna happen in this game against y'all. I can't wait.
He said we've been wrong all year. All right, live on. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, but look, where's Dorothy? We need Dorothy right now.
Nate, go get Dorothy, please. She's like, hello, Terrence. She was gonna go like, hello, Terrence. Or knows government. She knows government and everything.
Address, Dorothy is our resident police officer.
Yeah, she loves
she's not allowing people in here to talk stuff.
That conflict.
But anyway, so that is what it is. I mean, we're just gonna have to see. I mean, I don't want to spend the whole show complaining about that. I did want to touch on the topic that I chose for this game. What?
By the way, the poll is at 41 votes, and we're still split.
We're still split.
Yeah.
It's 51-49.
I did say that if we could hit 100 likes, where are we right now on likes?
On my end, it is showing we're at 53.
53, that's it?
That's pretty good. But it sounds like
we got 117 people in here.
We might get that song.
Yeah, maybe. Joe Sanders says 100 likes. The song should have to switch from Teapot to Boys to Men, Hard to Say Goodbye in honor of McDermott, especially Keys, since I know he loved his defensive philosophy. # sarcasm.
I was so bored.
Yeah. I actually sang that in high school. Believe it or not.
I did not, believe it or not.
It was a high school play, and it was this play that our music teacher wrote himself, which was kind of dope. Cool. Yeah, dope. Mr. Thompson, Mr. Townsend. I think it was Mr. Townsend.
Mr. T.
Yeah, Mr. T. Yeah, so it's one.
I've been in the fool.
His name started with a T. Real cool dude. He's a really cool black dude.
He wear a lot of jewelry, a lot of gold.
No. You know what? He was one of those. He was one of those black teachers that would be like on Saved by the Bell or something like that. Just real, just nondescript. Wore a sweater all the time.
Had a black building.
Had
a black building.
What is that?
Mr. Belding was his principal at Saved by the Bell.
No, he wasn't like that.
Say, okay.
No.
Belding was pretty cool though.
No. I just now got the last name.
Yeah, Belding. Mm-hmm.
Belding.
Belding. Mr. Belding.
Belding.
Mm-hmm.
Works for a school.
Yep.
As a principal.
Yep.
And his last name is Belding.
Belding. Yep.
Did nobody else catch this? Am I the first person?
Probably. No, T-Dog. See, it's funny though, because T-Dog, he said, who was it? Billy D said, smash the light. T-Dog said, I did.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
I mean, honestly,
sure.
That's the thing about it. I hope I know you're going to come in here and troll or whatever, which is fine. I respect it. You never say anything disrespectful like that. And anybody that wants to jump in and join with T-Dog, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's a free country and we respect it all. As long as you're not offensive, you don't start, talking mess about people for real. We're good.
He's got a genuine question here. Let's check this out. It says, how much longer do you give Josh Allen before trading him?
With that contract, it's gonna be a long time before I even think about that.
What is it? 10-year, $300 million?
Well, if you trade him now, it's $180 million dead cap.
No, we cannot do that.
You cannot do any of that.
Guys, I think that's it. Josh is 33. I think we should just trade him.
And we fired this guy.
Did he just say what I think he said?
I think he said
Get this guy out of here. Get this guy out of here. That's a long 4 more years. You trying hard, man. You trying hard. You got some great coaching over there, but I mean, you trying hard.
And I think, and this is not a T-Dog. I thought about it when I was watching it. They had a whole theme, and I want my team to be like that so bad. That Warriors theme they went in with. Matt Collins had the bottles from the movie Warriors.
So good. That was so good.
Yeah, he was like Warriors. He was clinking them.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like Stephon Diggs, they were doing whatever. He's like, somebody get them bottles out. And then Matt Collins, clink, clink. And then in the post game with Vrabel, he's like, all right, I'm not gonna take that all the time. I'm not gonna say, oh, you can celebrate, but Warrior. I'm like, McDermott, why didn't you do something? Take your shirt off, whip around your head like a helicopter, little beer bottle, something.
Because McDermott was too busy trying to convince people that this team was good before Josh Allen got here. That's why. That's who Sean was.
Yeah.
Don't forget about sugar high Josh Allen with Dayball, and as soon as he got Dayball out the building, it was we don't get too high, we don't get too low, and then everything was just flatline. Press conferences, locker room speeches, on the field. No one looks happy, but no one looks upset.
See, that's where McDermott failed. McDermott had to be smart enough to know, or whoever is smart has to be smart enough to trick Josh into something, into a certain mind state. Get Josh sugar high because that's where he wants to live, but all control where he's not even seeing it, he's being controlled.
Right.
And that's the cerebral thing you got in when you have a guy like that. And sometimes people like Josh is a gift and a curse. It looks great, but then when you can't corral it, when you can't use it the way you need it to be used, it just backfires, and that's what we saw.
Here's the one thing before we get to the topic here. The main.
I'm
topic
sorry.
Here. No. This is good. This is good because I mean, a lot of this has to do with people's criticism of Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
How did Mahomes look this season to anybody? Like let's think this through now. Let's think this through. How did Mahomes look with all those wide receivers whom none of them are elite route runners? They're all speedy guys that can create space with their speed and athleticism, but they're not elite route runners.
Mm-hmm.
They're not separators, right? How did Mahomes look with all those guys and basically Travis Kelce, who has just announced that he'll be back for next season, but looks like a shell of himself. Like Mahomes without his prime number one elite unstoppable receiver in Travis Kelce out there dominating, he's left with a bunch of guys. right? Now, in Andy Reid's system, they were still able to score points. They were still able to make the game tough. And really, what carried that team through most of the season was their defense. But eventually, that gave way too, because they don't have a bunch of dogs on that side of the field. They got a bunch of guys that work well in Spag's system, but Chris Jones is getting older. Karlaftis hasn't really stepped up as that elite pass rusher that they thought they would get out of him. And now they're left with Trent McDuffie being their best defensive player. So I'm saying all this to say, even Mahomes is susceptible to, if you don't put enough dogs around me that can create for themselves, I'm going to look uncomfortable on the field. If I don't have guys that I trust to block in front of me, I'm going to look uncomfortable in a game myself, right? We have to be very objective on these narratives surrounding Josh Allen when it comes to the way he plays the game. We can't look at what happened in Denver or what happened in any other game as, well, Josh just played a terrible game. We have to ask the question, why? We have to ask, why did he play a bad game? And then we have to go and review the tape and see, oh, friggin' Khalil Shakir blocked him too wide, and Dawkins wasn't able to get into position. And that's why Josh Allen gets sacked and fumbles, right? Realistically, Josh Allen had 3 turnovers in this game because the interception that was a catch, not on Josh. The defender just snatched that right out the receiver's hands.
I said 2.
2?
Yeah.
Which 2?
The one you just mentioned, and the interception that was really not, I guess.
Yeah, that's
those. Well, that and the I'm saying those, that and the sack fumble I don't put on him.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's basically what I'm saying. Those 2 turnovers are not on Josh. Right. But even past all that, we were ahead of this team in the first half, right? And part of the reason why it was so hard to move the ball and so hard to score was because when it was time to pass the ball, who's Josh going to go to? Who's the guy that he trusts? Who's the guy that he can drop back to? And all right, I know my first read is on the right side of the field, and that's where I'm supposed to go first. But based on the covers that I'm seeing, they're taking that away right off the bat. All right, well, at least I know I got this guy. Oh, wait, no, Steph Diggs is not here. Oh, shoot. So who am I going to go to on this? All right, Brandon Cooks is running. Nope, that's not even the right route. Like, a lot of this stuff is happening in games for Josh, right? So we have to understand what we've put around Josh from day one, because in Dayball's system, it was, all right, we'll give you Stephon Diggs, we'll give you John Brown, we'll give you Cole Beasley in year 1, but you have no offensive line. Your offensive line is pretty trash at that point. And the reason you're not getting sacked is because you're prime friggin' Josh Allen that's leaping over linebackers and stiff-arming dudes and putting people's face in the ground and then throwing for 60 yards. Like, that's why that stuff is not happening. By the way, really quick, in the middle of all this, our call-in line is open. Vu, I don't know if you're in here or not, but the link for that is at the top of our chat here. You go ahead and click that link. That'll take you into a waiting room, and I will see you in the waiting room, and then we'll get to you if you just give us a few minutes to get to you in the midst of what we're talking about.
Can I interject real quick?
Sure.
We as NFL fans need to stick together and stand up for the truth.
Yes.
Because today I saw on social media Chiefs fan pages campaigning that if Mahomes hadn't gotten injured, they were going to the Super Bowl. But for some reason, they're convinced of this, even though they were essentially eliminated when he went down. It was their sudden death game. They were getting blown out, and he gets injured in what, the 4th quarter?
Yeah.
I think
the game was over.
So the game was already over, and they're still campaigning around town that if Mahomes hadn't gone down, they were going to the Super Bowl because of how bad this playoff was. So as NFL fans, we need to stand for truth. We need to make sure Chiefs fans don't get too high, because this was a bad year for them, and they need to take some humble pie.
That's hard to do. That's hard to do. But yeah, I mean, look, let's 6:46 right now. All right, so call-in line is open. Let's get to the main topic. I titled this episode "A Sign of the Times," and I actually want to create a poll surrounded around this.
Oh,
I want to know, where the Bills are right now, the Patriots have surpassed us, right? And when I say surpassed us, I mean, not only have they won the division and gotten to the Super Bowl, but if you look at where they are as a team build, where they are with their coaches, they're probably ahead of us by about 2 years now, because the Bills are going to have to hire their coach, and then within the next 2 years, try to establish the players that the coach wants in there and scrape the plate of the players that the coach doesn't want in there.
And that's if New England doesn't open up that salary cap, because they sitting on ducats.
They have about $70 million in cap space right now.
They're sitting on ducats.
Right. And that doesn't include some of the 1-year deals that they got coming off the books this year. Right. 70 million before they even cut anybody, before they even get to the offseason. Right. So that was the second part of what I mean by 2 years ahead of us is they have the cap space that we're going to have to try and create within the next couple of years with all the void contracts and stuff that we have from kicking the can down the road so many times under Sean McDermott.
And
now,
not to cut you up, but you know what else that they have over us?
What's that?
Buffalo has Josh Allen, but they have a Super Bowl quarterback. They have a Super Bowl head coach. They got money. They got the history. Like, okay, we're still scrapping. Now we're in the bottom, scrapping our way back out again. And we're Bills fans, we don't want to hear that. But it's true. New England, they have everything they can offer you. And people both like, well, we got Josh Allen. They're like, that's cute, but we got Drake May. Even though he only went for 140-something yards total offense yesterday, that's all he needed. That's the ugliest game I ever saw in my life. The weather just became disgusting in the fourth quarter, and they won.
Right. I think at the end of the day, if you are, and this sucks saying this, but this is what the poll is going to be. If you are, let's say you're trying to buy a team, okay? You're trying to buy an NFL team, and your two options are Team A has a 23-year-old quarterback, a first-year head coach, a long-time, two-time head coach, who's your offensive coordinator now, and you're basically on defense running your head coach's scheme and system. You know what I mean? So you're covering on both sides of the ball, and that team was just in the Super Bowl the year before. Team B is they have the best player in the world at quarterback. This guy is an absolute unicorn, but the rest of their roster is meh, and they've been kicking at the door for years and years and years, made 2 AFC championships, nothing to show for it.
Door's made of metal.
the proverbial door is turned into a proverbial wall now in the playoffs. But let's put those two options out there. Team A or Team B. Which team are you buying? Which team? What situation are you more willing to step into? Do you want the younger up and coming quarterback who's already been to a Super Bowl with a head coach that just got there and an offensive coordinator that you know is probably not going anywhere? Or do you want to step into situation B with this unicorn quarterback that's going into year 30 of his life and year 7 of the 8 of his career and is on the downturn? What? Longest poll question ever. Shut up, Nate. Shut up right now.
I told him I was hoping that the yeses would win so I could end it while it was on yes. Unfortunately, it's still 51% no. Every time someone votes yes, someone else votes no.
Of course. I just I'm very interested in Dan, your comments and Key, your comments on that, because to me that says a lot about the damage that's been done under Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane to put us in this position where we're in Buffalo walking around talking about, this is the best job out there. Really? Like, let's think about that for a second. You got an owner that wants things to just be status quo, so he keeps the GM that was a part of the problem. That GM gets a promotion and says, instead of going a different route at head coaching, bringing in an X and O's guy, I want the same style of coach we had before, a CEO style, where we have the same problems at offensive coordinator that we've had before, because we're going to have to keep on cycling guys in and out. I want those same issues all over again, right? So essentially, you're looking at this team and you're saying, like, where's the change going to come in?
Right.
Like, you're going to have to hope that the CEO style head coach can get it done in year one, because if not, any offensive coordinator you have is going to have a head coaching job within 2 years. Then what?
Yeah.
Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Real quick, I just think that I think I would go with Team A, because of the way I want to build. You know, I have my coach. I have an offensive coordinator who's left, flamed out, came back, so he's entrenched. I got a young coach. I got a young quarterback. I got, I made it work with Diggs and Mac Hollins again, clutch catches. I got a rookie left tackle who might have some kind of promise to him. I got, I have money to fix the holes that are going to be built in the years to come. Roy, in 2026, they have $35 million in free cap spaces. Still a hell of a lot more than we have. We're in the negatives right now. We got to create just to get to the positive. So everybody's talking about, I can create $65 million in cap space. That's cool. But you're going to spend that on one player after you had to do all this moving around? No, that's not what they do that for. They do that to field a team. They do that to get better. They do that because you got a new coach coming in. So that's why you're going to see them, you're not going to get a big splash guy per se. You're going to get a lot of good guys, hopefully. Mm-hmm. But your splash guy is going to be that guy that comes CJ Allen out of the draft or somebody like that. I'm just saying, you got to hope for the draft that you really hit. Whereas if you're New England, those guys, man, they have an infrastructure. So if I miss on my first round draft pick, I got the money to fix that.
Exactly.
And that's the scary thing about it. That's really scary for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, your president of football operations / GM is now in position to pick. And this is probably still going to be somewhat of a collaboration between whatever head coach we pick and Brandon Beane, but there's probably going to be more emphasis on the guys that Brandon Beane wants to have here in case the head coach doesn't work out. At the very least, we got a guy in here that we still like that would be enticing for the next head coach to come in, and right. You know what I'm saying? The other part of this is culture. Mm-hmm. Right? Do we know for a fact that Sean McDermott's culture wasn't something that the owner and the GM wanted still?
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, because he's still saying the same stuff that he was saying when McDermott was here. So they believe they want the same thing that they had. They just don't want the figurehead that they had before to still be in place. It's going to be the same basic team until they show me otherwise. I have no reason to believe that anything changes because McDermott's gone. And that's the thing that's lost on some people. Yeah. We need to be, as Bills fans, we need to be proved that they learned, that they're going to change, that they don't want to do things the same. You're going to give us a different kind of defensive end. You're going to give us a different kind of linebacker. But what about the culture? What about the message? What about the way we conduct ourselves on the field? How do we carry ourselves? Does that change? Because if it doesn't, it's just rinse and repeat.
T-Dog, you're right. As the Buffalo fan base, enough with the excuses. Demand that organization to give you results. I mean, bro, that's the foundation of this show in general. We've been crying for this stuff for 3 years, and they finally just now fired the head coach, right? Paul, I mean, we need a cap clear semi-tank year to get right. Then we go for the trophy. That's what last year was supposed to be, and we made the AFC Championship game. Yeah. Like, it was supposed to be a transition year, and because all of the teams in the AFC got worse, and then got worse again this year, and we had another chance to do it again this year. Like, the last 2 years have been the quintessential. That was your window.
The only thing that'll show you that you're gonna have a semi-tank, not a semi-tank, is you bench Josh Allen. You got to bench Josh for a season. Josh and James Cook, phantom injuries. You pull a hamstring, IR. Oh well, now we're gonna lose all these bad contracts like they did when McDermott and Beane first came, and rinse and repeat. But that's not gonna happen because the fans will go bananas if you do that in a new stadium.
Yeah. The good thing, and then Schmitty, I want to get your thoughts. The good thing about this situation though is I think people are going to. And this really depends on how on the head coach we hire, because if people are skeptical of the head coach that we hire, the heat will continue to be on Brandon Beane. And ultimately, what I'm trying to say is the heat needs to continue to be on Brandon Beane no matter what, no matter who we hire. We can like the head coach, we can like, the assistants and all that kind of stuff, but we should be looking forward to free agency from that point on with a magnifying glass saying you better do right. Mm-hmm. You better find a way to create $70 million of cap space. You better find a way to get all these bad contracts off the books. You better find a way to give this incoming head coach the best possible way to the best possible path to a Super Bowl. Because that's what we deserve. Never mind what you want to see. Never mind what you think is best. It's about what we deserve. And you spent a majority of that press conference talking about how we deserve a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And the thing is, with Josh Allen, we're not asking for the moon, but you have a lot of money in your quarterback. We get it. When you have a franchise quarterback contract, it's not as easy to make a cap. But when you're negative $9 million and when you're $9 million in a hole, you expect to have something else to show for it. We don't have anything to show for it. We got James Cook, who once again, as everybody else did, took a team-friendly deal, as we saw, as I said before he did it. Now everybody's like, yeah, could have get whatever he got. But he could have got the 15 mil. Was he worth it this last season? Yes, he was. Did he have to get the whole 15? No, but that was a big contention. But, you should have, $15 million in cap space right now. We're still talking about, we got a dead cap that's egregious. And that's what people don't understand. When you want to kick the can down or you want to get rid of this, we can create $65 million in cap. How much more dead space are you creating? And people don't talk about that part.
Yep. Ooh, excuse me. Kev says, guys, it'll be Daboll. If Schwartz is not a head coach, he will be the DC. That's my dream scenario.
That's probably, yeah.
It's my dream scenario. And it's probably, if you do that now, it's probably going to look like Daboll as your head coach. Davis Webb is your offensive coordinator, because that would be a step up from what he's doing now in Denver. And then if you can get Schwartz, Schwartz steps in as your DC. That to me is the fastest path to a Super Bowl right there. You've got a mind like Davis Webb, young up and coming guy to lend a hand to Daboll's system offensively. You got a guy in Daboll who's known as a hard-nosed, scream at the guys, demand focus and all that kind of stuff, to slap Josh upside the back of the head if he gets too happy-go-lucky and whatever. But it's also going to put Josh in a system that enhances the play of the wide receivers and creates openings for Josh to throw to that he's comfortable with.
Yeah.
All right, Schmitty, we've talked for a while now. We've said a lot. What are your thoughts on everything that we've talked about so far?
He's like, whoa.
Everything all at once. Answer all of that.
Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah. I wanted to start by pointing out what iRollUp said earlier. It was very interesting. He said, I finally broke down and read the Dunn report from 23. Reading now and knowing what we know is crazy when you think about this petition. I need to read this report. I
think it's unlocked.
I've heard a lot about it. I haven't read it.
I don't think you have to pay for it anymore. I think it's unlocked now, so you should.
Oh, really?
I think so. I think Howard Dunn said that on Talking Buffalo was unlocked.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I encourage everybody to read it.
Yeah, I need to read it. But the other thing I also wanted to mention, I did run a poll. It's still ongoing, but I wanted to know if the viewers preferred the CEO type or the play caller type as a head coach. And right now we're at 88% on play caller with 17 votes so far. So clear favorite. That's kind of my.
We are all going to be mad.
That's kind of my point of view as well. I have never been a huge fan of the CEO type. I was very, very appreciative watching the broadcast yesterday when they're talking about Mike Macdonald while the offense is on the field, and they pan to Mike Macdonald on the sidelines and they can't even catch his face because he's right on the bench with his players coaching up his defense because he's a play caller. And he trusts his OC to handle the job that he needs to do while he's figuring out what's going on with the defense.
Yep.
And that's something that I really want to see with us, but offensively, because I feel like we need some stability for Josh, and we need someone that can be working with Josh in real time.
I'm going to say something that hopefully doesn't piss off all 99 of you that are watching right now.
Well, you got 101 right on just because me and Dan are watching too.
Okay. I think what we're running into now is something that for all of the people in this city that are our age and younger, it's not our fault. And that is the culture that exists in the city. I think what we're witnessing now with this owner is a sign of a culture that exists around the stadium. I'll put it that way. All of the season ticket holders, all of the fans that are going to go to the game regardless of what happens, they're going to support the team regardless of what happens, the diehards. Nothing wrong with being a diehard fan. The only issue is the owner and the front office will never have a clear picture of where they truly stand with fans as long as those fans are fanatical in nature. Mm-hmm. As long as they're frothing at the mouth, cheering for you 100%, you can never do any wrong. You'll never actually find out what the real feedback is about how you're doing as an owner, how you're doing as a GM. And those are the people they're contacting. Those are the people that they're calling in when they're thinking about doing, different jerseys and different helmet colors and, how do you like the state? Like, those are the people they're calling. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, the reason the owner feels comfortable just being status quo in let's find another CEO, head coach. The reason the GM feels comfortable with that. The reason there's not this rush to get into this new wave of new style head coaches is because comfort is key here in Buffalo, right? It's all about nostalgia. It's all about doing what I heard somebody earlier today on the radio talking about. Hey, you know what? Don Beebe, who's a Division III head coach, could the last thing he said was, and he's got that similar culture like Sean McDermott had. Similar culture, my bro. What do you mean when you say similar culture?
Like, why do you want that?
There's some aspects of that culture that are kind of messed up based on stuff that I've heard from inside the building.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
let's ask Leslie Frazier about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff people don't. I mean, there's stuff I don't know. There's stuff. There's always gonna be something behind the scenes nobody knows. But I think for people when they say that coach, they think about the old conservative, kind of deal. They don't want anybody to come in and ruffle feathers and jump off of tables and this, that, and third. See, when I hear CEO coaching, what I like about CEO coaching, I don't think McDermott was a CEO. Because McDermott was too meddlesome in the defensive play calls. He was too meddlesome in the offensive play calls, vetoing stuff, taking over controls from special teams. So for me, when I hear CEO style, it's like, okay, all right, you the best offensive coordinator in the game right now. Come along. Dan, you the best defensive coordinator in the game. Come along. We're going to sit in the office for 3-4 hours. We're going to hash this out. What are you going to do in these situations, these scenarios? Let's run these things. What are you thinking? Bet. Okay, I sign off. You're going to hear nothing else from me. I'm in charge of time management. I'm in charge of, injury management, in charge of all the other stuff that's behind the scene. That's my day. Mm-hmm. What I need from you is, like Dan said, who was it? McDonald was on the sidelines.
Yeah, McDonald.
Yeah, yelling at the coach. That's your job, Dan. That's your job, A, because I'm not doing it. You guys, I'm going to be watching the field to make sure that a catch is a catch is not a catch is a catch. I'm going to be watching the field to make sure that the spot is right. I'm going to be talking to John Perry. If you don't like something, if you want something changed, you need to tell me so I can get it done. But the rest of it is on you guys. Mm-hmm. And that's, for me, what a CEO does. And that's why I don't think McDermott was one. And I don't know if being in Pagula even know what that even means. Because if they say we want another one, you have no clue. You're not in touch with anything.
Right. Kev says this is why owners McGrady, and I think he's trying to say Carter, is very helpful. They are more involved than most minority owners. The only thing is, and they might have played at one point in time in their younger years, but they're even newer to the inner circles of the game of football in the NFL than our current owner is, than our majority owner, mm-hmm. right? So them stepping in and lending their knowledge on winning championships is from a basketball perspective, right, which is a completely different sport when it comes to comparing football to basketball.
Where does that come from? What is the proof? What are they doing? Like, what is?
So I guess the thought process is, as minority owners, they would be in position to lend their wisdom and knowledge on characteristics,
Right.
that lead to winning and stuff like that. But I don't.
Yeah, I don't. Where are we getting intel that they're doing that? I mean, I
don't think they are.
I don't either.
Yeah,
I don't think they have anything to do with it. Huh?
From everything that we've seen, it looks kind of like their only responsibility as an owner is to show up for main announcements where everyone on the Bills team is there, and then just come and talk to the players every once in a while.
Yep.
And they kind of have like a VIP access to the team type of thing. It doesn't seem like they're really in control of anything per se.
Yeah, this is just an investment for them.
Right.
It's in terms of all of the different interactions and things that I've heard of them being involved in. This is just an investment for them, and there is a benefit of they've played in championships before and stuff like that. Okay, cool. From a player's perspective, but I mean, let's be real. From a sports perspective, Sean McDermott has been to the pinnacle in his field the same way that they've been to the pinnacle in theirs.
Yeah.
So
and that's the thing. I mean, it's a whole different mindset for basketball too in the playoffs because it's best of series. It's not one and done.
Right.
So you have it's a different process for preparation. So yeah, I mean, you can lend advice, but Pagula doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's listening to anything anyway. So
yeah.
There's who said Slum. Yeah, Ocho Cinco said he was. I think Andre Reed said he was.
Stevie Johnson was asked by the team too.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Kev. So it says no, they do more than that. My birdies tell a different story dealing with players. Okay. I mean, give us some juice, man. You sound like you got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I think that has to do a lot with the coaches, and this is the one thing that nobody's really brought up.
Wait before you do that, before you get into that, we got 104 people watching. If we can get a like from each and every one of you, and we get to 104, we can get Key to sing the Reese T song by the end of the episode.
The Reese T song.
He's got to make it up on the go.
I have to make it up
purely impromptu. But Nico is also asking where's the call-in link. Dan, that's pinned
comment. Yeah.
Okay, it's a pinned comment at the top of the chat. All you gotta do is click the link. That'll take you into the room. I'll see you, and then I will bring you in as soon as we have an opening there.
Yeah, to go off of the thought of coaches and whatnot. Why is nobody talking about actually hiring coaches in positional roles that played the position?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have none of them. The running backs coach is not a running back. The wide receiver coach was never a wide receiver. The quarterbacks coach was a wide receiver. The line coach is not even here anymore. The defense is in shambles. None of these dudes are coaching the position. That's why when you get a wide receiver to come to Buffalo, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yep. I think this is Nico, and we got somebody on the calling line here. Are you
gonna have to mute me so that you can hear them?
Yep. Got to do that. So I'm gonna mute you, and then. Yep. Okay. Perfect. So then I got to go to the settings. It's a whole lot of stuff I got to do here. Give me 2 seconds now. All right. And okay. All right. Now. All right. This is the post podium. No. I'm sorry. Let's unmute. All right. This is the post podium podcast. Who are we talking to? Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
What you got?
This is the post podium.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear us?
He's got an echo. He's late.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Here's a quick question, guys.
Yeah, you got
first of all, I just want to,
Can you
you guys do a good show. Good show, like your input on everything, your insight, everything looks really, really good. First of all, I'm never playing poker with you, Aramis, ever in my life. I saw how you break down gestures and stuff, man. That's insane. I just can't do it. I just can't. Second of all, is whatever coach we get next, no matter who it is, do you think if we lose in the wild card or we lose in the divisional again, is that something that we would expect because of his first year coaching us, or do you expect us to go at least all the way to the Super Bowl this year?
All right. Thank you for the question. Are you going to stay on or? Yep. Can you hear us? You got an echo. Okay.
I just can't.
All right. So he's asking if, just so I understand the question correctly, if we get to the playoffs and we don't go that far again, are we attributing that to it being a first-year head coach and we got to give him another shot, or is it like a do or die type of situation? I'll let you go first, bro.
No, I don't think it's a do or die. Honestly, I don't think that the expectation, depending on who they bring in, should even be very far in the playoffs. Honestly, because chances are they're not going to have a philosophy that was in tune in any way, shape, or form with McDermott. So they got to do roster surgery. They got to get their personnel. They got to figure out who can fit in their system. This gonna be a process. So you're talking about a team. If the AFC falls apart again, sure, but if the AFC comes correct, AFC East especially, and you're fighting for the number one in the division. No, I think that you got to give them grace and give them a year or so to really talk about.
I think okay, Dan, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, cool. I just changed the settings so that we can hear you too. All right. So yeah, I'm with you. I think you've put yourself in a bad situation with everything that you said in the press conference, because everything is going to be focused on your words versus the results of those words from the head coach. Part of what makes this such a tough job to step into is it is Super Bowl or bust now. You fired the head coach. Why? Because he couldn't get you to a Super Bowl. So what do you think the expectation is going to be of the next guy? This is why you needed to either only put Brandon Beane as the president of football operations or fire him. The fact that he's still here lends to Sean McDermott was the problem. That opens the door to whatever head coach comes in after that, you've got to be the answer. If you don't answer that the first year now, we believe we have a championship roster. That's the pressure they're putting on this next head coach. We believe we have a championship roster. You got your owner saying it now. So what does that mean? Don't expect this team to do a lot of turnover in the offseason. Expect them to add to, and whatever free agents are leaving, fine, peace. But this isn't going to be, we're going to have this brand new scheme. We're going to, get a bunch of, traditional 3-4 style players in here. We're going to get, they're not going to do a lot of that stuff. This is tweak mode and go. This is get Josh Allen a Super Bowl while he's still got it. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot to ask for a first year head coach, which is why I don't think they're going to go that way. Imagine being Udinski stepping into this situation, knowing that the pressure is on you right off the bat. You got Josh Allen. You're expected to go to a Super Bowl. Figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, they were asked that question: did they expect a Super Bowl the first year? And they said, no, that's not fair to the guy coming in. And that's true. They feel more pressure, I think, because they have more egg on their face than anybody else. If this goes south, which I expect it to do. I don't think that it's possible for a first year guy to come in and make a playoff push with the roster we had before. You're not going to get a Justin Jefferson. You're not going to get an Ayuk. You're not going to get those guys that really move the needle for the offense in one offseason. You're still going to have Palmer. You can get away from Curtis Samuel, but what are you going to do there? You don't have Gabe Davis. You can get Cole Hardman back. You could go ahead and re-sign Christian Wilkerson. But are these guys that are going to push you over the top? No, they're not going to get you to promised land. But, what happens by the front office opening their mouth the way you said is the onus is on them to get us there. Brandon Beane insulated himself because if he sucks at GM this year, then guess what? I was really, trying to balance roles, so I'm going to pass that on to somebody. Yeah, you failed. But because you have this other role, now you're insulated. Now you can give up this role and you still have a job, which is completely unfair. It's completely bogus. Yep. It's all or nothing. If you want to do this job, then do that job. If you want to do this job, there's no, it didn't work, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it off. No, we're going to brown you on both sides. You should be brown on both sides. We need another director of personnel or president of football operations. We need another person. We need somebody else that's going to be GM. Because right now, what you're pushing us is it's not working for us. I didn't forget about Shavers. He said he's forgetting about Shavers. And I ain't thinking about Shavers. Shavers was that feel good story that I'm just whatever. I can't get there with him.
Him getting that injury this late in the season though, like
he's not going
to come back.
Yeah,
the comeback is going to take a while for him.
Yeah, he's probably going to miss the season. Gabe Davis misses the season. Try Keon at tight end. I mean, how about just try him as a wide receiver that actually doesn't run goal balls all the time?
Right. I want to read some names to you, right? Because I mean, the Bills are in a position now where they're just trying to add. It's not an overhaul, right? So that means you're probably going to try to, get some of the older names out there and all that kind of stuff, free agency, and then of course you want to draft well, right? And I still think they're going to go heavy defense in the draft. So let's read off some of these names, and I want your and you too, Dan. I want you guys' initial reaction to whether or not the Bills can get this player and whether or not the Bills should try to get this player. Okay, and I want your why behind both of those. First name on the list is Trey Hendrickson.
No, I'm good on that. I mean, was he 31 now?
He is 31.
31. Yeah, no, that rate. That's all I need to know. I don't need 31. His salary what's his contract? 40 million.
His market value right now in free agency is 25 million annually.
Nah, I'm good on that. Too old, too much money.
Okay. Trayvon Diggs.
Buffalo would love that. Buffalo would love that one.
I mean, it's a different head coach, different culture. Why not?
Yeah, no, respectfully pass on that. He was working at original at Arby's. He was always cooking.
I mean, his market value is $7 million.
Yeah, he was cooked. What do you think, Dan?
Yep, Dan, what you got?
I have never been the biggest fan of Trayvon Diggs as a player. As a person, I don't mind him at all. But I just don't really like his game, to be honest. And I don't see why we would need to bring in someone like that with what we currently have and with what we're able to get via draft or free agency for backups. Okay. So I just don't see Trayvon as a viable option for the Bills. That makes sense. As far as Hendrickson, I don't think that he is what he once was. He's going to be expensive. And honestly, I am concerned about more injuries. So it just reminds me of the type of signings the Bills have already done with Joey Bosa and Von Miller. And maybe he's not even that caliber of player, but that same line of thinking where older player coming off injuries, looking for a contract, needs a home. I just don't want to go through that again.
Okay. So I'll make my point in the reason for asking those questions because we're getting short on time.
That's only two you had? Right? You can do two more names.
Two more names?
Yeah, just give them both at the same time. What you got?
Okay. Let's go with Christian Kirk. His market value is about $5 million right now. He's 29 years old, and his last team was Houston. He was making $18 million a season with them. And the other name that I'll give you guys is where is it? Wyatt Teller, guard, played with the Browns. 10 million would be his market value.
Welcome home.
I'm good with Wyatt Teller.
Okay.
For 10 mil, that'd be tough. But yeah, I mean, Wyatt Teller would probably be.
How much do you think Cybo is going to be asking for?
I don't even think Cybo should be on this team right now. Honestly,
really?
I don't think.
Well, I get that.
With the next.
But how much is he going to ask for? Is what I'm wondering. Because if you 13, can, 14. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you can get Teller for 10, I would take that over re-signing Cybo.
Yeah.
Let me see right quick.
And David Edwards is gone too. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'll just go with Alec Anderson for that.
Alec, okay. Let me see.
And then Christian Kirk. He's an interesting player. The problem is if the Bills do what I want them to do, and that's draft a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds with the belief that he's going to be a top 3 receiver on the team, I don't really want us handcuffing Keon or Shakir if we know that we're going to have those 3 receivers as the top 3. I mean, Kirk a 4 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, for
How about you,
$5 million, no, but yeah, I mean he could be that Miko Hardman role or whatever the case may be. While you're looking up whatever, Lynn said, any thoughts on Daquan Jones pooping on the Bills? No. It's prerogative. I mean, it's prerogative. I mean, he didn't really say anything.
He wasn't pooping on the Bills.
Yeah, he didn't really say anything. I mean, they said, "Aren't you a Bill?" He said, "I'm a free agent." So he knows he's done here and he's moved on. And Nate, I gotta know who OC is. He's some trash on OC. Who's OC?
So I was trying to find O'Cyrus Torrance's market value.
Oh, that's who it is. Okay, O'Cyrus. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but because next year is the final year of his rookie contract, they don't have that up yet on Spotrac. So.
Yeah, I saw people saying you're looking at maybe upwards of $18 million for him, and I'm like, nah, not from what I've seen.
Wow.
Yeah, I could see him getting about 70% of that on the open market, just because that's the average for guards. I mean, obviously Wyatt Teller's towards the end of his contract. He's still going to make 10 million somewhere. And he might get more than that if there's a bidding war.
Former All-Pro, yeah.
Right. So my point in asking, I'm sorry, on the Daquan Jones thing, you got to understand, he's pointing out that Mike Vrabel was able to do something with the Patriots that Bill Belichick hadn't been able to do since Tom Brady left.
I just thought about it. He played for him in Tennessee.
Who?
Yeah.
Daquan Jones. He played for him in Tennessee.
Yeah.
He was a big Vrabel guy.
That's it. That's his former coach. He's big up in his former coach. I just thought about it. No,
Right.
no, has nothing to do with the Bills.
Yeah. So I I mean, he's praising a guy that coached him, but I think the other part of this is just kind of realizing the job that Mike Vrabel has done in New England, which he should be commended. Like, he should be commended. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. He completely revamped a franchise that was dead for 5 years. And he did it in one season. So big ups to him. The part that bothers me about all this is the fan that attacks a player for saying anything positive about somebody else.
Can't do it.
Apparently you're not allowed to. You
Nope.
can't have an opinion on someone else's success if you used to play for their team.
Right. I'm not even on a team anymore, and I can't say nothing about nobody.
That's madness.
That is madness.
That is absolute madness. We cannot handcuff these players to a certain level of roboticism where they're just I'm only under the Bills. I will never have an opinion on anything else.
But my friend, that's the coach that they built, and that's the coach that the fans love.
That's true. Nate is looking for your falsetto voice right now, bro.
I gave it to you already, Nate. It's over for you.
A little bit of me's. Michael's asking, you think they re-sign McGovern? No, they would have done it by now if they were going to do it. He's going to cost too much for the performance that he's given, so I don't think they do that.
He said he wants real money too. So he said that when Cook was going for his. Yeah, he said,
"Is that I want real money?"
He said it's a business. They said, well, "What do you think?" He's like, "It's a business."
Yeah,
that tells you right there. I'm not taking one less than what I think I'm worth.
Yeah. So my point about asking about the free agents is, these are going to be the conversations that you have in the front office to really, I should say it like this: what they do in free agency and the draft is going to tell us a lot about their expectation of the head coach. Because if they go all out and they get, as many big names as they can get, and it just turns out that they just don't have the cap space, but they did get some real names. Like, they did go get Trey Hendrickson. They were in the bid for Trayvon Diggs. They tried to get Christian, or better yet, for $5 million, they should be able to get Christian Kirk here. Like, if they get names like that here, okay, they're going out of their way to help this head coach, whoever it is, get the best result in year one. And if that head coach doesn't make it, I think it makes it tougher on the head coach at the end of the season, because we gave you names that we didn't give to Sean McDermott and you still didn't get it done. But at least you can't say that this GM isn't willing to do things differently than he did before in terms of who he goes out and gets. because it's no longer about Sean McDermott's culture. You know what I'm saying? Now it's about getting the best possible guy that we can get that's willing to come here for the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So those are some interesting things to pay attention to going forward when it comes to the types of players that we bring in and for how much. You know, what's it going to cost us? Are the Bills willing to go all out and you know, push all their chips in on a particular player that can push them over the top? That's something that they haven't been willing to do. And yes, Kev, I do think this is the move. If they are going to do something for Josh Allen in 2026 that absolutely puts them over the top, this is that move. You get Justin Jefferson in that building with a good
fans will completely forget about McDermott and Bean issues
Probably.
if they bring in Jefferson.
Yeah.
Bean will be forgiven for most fans. Not all of them, but most fans will forget about it right away. It'll be Diggs all over again. Remember how excited the city was when we brought in Diggs?
Yeah. Yeah. We need to set up a pool in our community section, a poll in our community section of whether or not people would forgive Brandon Bean and forgive the owner. All right, yeah, let's do that. Would you forgive Brandon Bean and Terry Pagula if we traded for Justin Jefferson? Yes or no? And let's see what they say. All right. Anything else before we get out of here, bro?
Nah, just thinking about the weather, thinking about planes, thinking about that Reese's tea.
That Reese's tea.
I am thinking about the Reese's tea because, you know, they didn't want me to sing today, but I will be singing very shortly. Why? Because that Reese's tea is refreshing. The Reese's tea is delicious. That Reese's tea will make you sing, but not better than my cohort over here. But what can I say? Those 4 ingredients, those are 4 mighty ingredients, and have you singing like my man A over here. Yep. I don't drink tea and I don't sing, but I can tell you this is a good drink right there. What you doing? Head over to Reese's Tea. Get yourself a supply of the case or individual. Or you get yourself an individual. Don't cheat yourself. Get yourself a case. Give yourself the gift that keeps on giving. Head over to the local area that sells Reese's Tea and let them know that PPP sent you.
All right, let's do it. There we go. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear that okay. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Hopefully I'm not warbled. Billy D said he'll back you up.
Thanks, Billy.
Yeah. All right, listen, thank you so much to everybody that tuned in. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you did the very kindest thing that you could possibly do and give us a thumbs up. I mean, hopefully we have at least 80 by now. I don't know where we're at right now, but look, it's the freest way that you can help us. If you wanted to contribute, if you wanted to do something other than a super chat, we do have our membership link in the description of this video. You can go there, click the link, and that'll take you into our I think that takes you into our Discord chat. I'm sorry, no, that'll take you to our YouTube membership page, and then you can sign up there. After that, all you got to do is hop in the direct message of any social media platform. Let us know that you signed in and you're now a member, and I will send you the link for our Discord chat that gives you unfettered access to us 24/7 through text message. I mean, we're constantly, talking about everything from, politics to I don't know, it's random stuff. Like, we talk about literally everything. If you want to talk ball, we talk ball, whatever. Right. And there's other benefits, obviously, of being a member. It's only $1.99. I mean, for $1.99 a month, you can't beat that. And we got a lot of big stuff coming too that we're adding to the membership. So get in now before it gets too big for us to be around as much as we are now. So with that being said, if you have not done so already, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe. Hit that bell. Make that thing so that you can get notifications when we send notifications. Like, I've been asked to be on a end of season recap show with Arthur Moats, and I think Tommy is going to be on the show. Tommy from Mafia Sports Report is going to be on the show with me. I have to look up the information because I don't know the exact name of the show that Arthur does. I think it's the Arthur Moats Experience on YouTube. I'm pretty sure, but I just want to give you guys the exact information. So I will put that in the community section of our YouTube channel, and you guys can make sure you tune into that. That's going down on Thursday from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you check us out there. After that, our next live show is going to be right back here on Friday, Post Podium Podcast, 5:30 p.m. sharp. Maybe not sharp, but that's the next time we'll be around for you guys. Yeah, it'll happen. All right, so this has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of y'all truth, no sodium takes. For our producer on the ones and twos, Schmitty, I am your co-host, Aramis.
40 Keys.
All right, y'all have a good night. Peace.
Later.